because he's always kind of been a no nonsense type of guy, like in interviews and stuff like that. So he's not ever been real animated or seemingly like strongly opinionated. So
I'm curious, how long does it take? Because they do a lot of interviews. I mean, they're in front of a camera a lot, and they're breaking down things off and all that. What it will actually be like, how much he will have to adjust to being on constant TV. Because I don't care how many times, it's kind of like you coached your first, you've coached some junior high, you coach some JV, then you get your first varsity game that you're coaching. There's a different adjustment that you have to have.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different answering or asking the questions versus answering the questions, and you're going to have to appeal to a fairly broad audience in that role, especially on NBC.
Yeah, it'd just be interesting in how quick he gets back in, because when you're Mike Tomlin, Sean Payton waited around and got the Denver job. Great job, ends up getting Bo Nix, all the things. Had to deal with Russell Wilson for a little bit, but growing pains, if you will. When you're Mike Tomlin, you get to be picky. You don't have to go, oh, there's a job, I want to go take it. You don't have to. You get to. If I was him, I would linger around and see when Sean McVay wanted to retire and then go to LA. That's what I would do.
Sean McVay's pretty young.
But he's hinted around about possibly not wanting to, anyway, I don't know. That's what I would do. But so anyway, NBA playoffs are going on. Is Wemby going to be back? What's Wemby's status? I'm going to go to our NBA analyst.
As far as I know, he's still questionable. I mean, I don't know the concussion protocol rules in the NBA quite like the NFL, but normally if those guys are concussed, I mean, even in high school, you're out at least a week. I would be shocked if he's back 3 or 4 days later.
Well, and there's so much going on. Again, the NFL draft last night, but the NBA playoffs are happening. Hawks beat the New York Knicks last night, 109-108. The Raptors take down the Cavaliers, 126-104, and the Timberwolves 113 to 96 over the Denver Nuggets. Let's go straight to the NFL draft, and we'll talk more Cowboy stuff too. David Bailey going from Tech at number 2 was not the shocker. Your thoughts on Arizona taking Jeremiah Love, number 3?
I was caught off guard by it because and even though I don't agree with the kind of the conventional wisdom of running backs drafted high in the first round is not a good thing. I think that even that people were not happy when Zeke got picked high by the Cowboys, but you look at that initial rookie contract run that he had, he was worth every bit of where he got drafted. So if he makes at all, I'm that's great. But it's you go to a team obviously that high in the draft, there's a lot of holes, so it's picking which hole you want to try to fill. So I mean, I was caught off guard by it, but I do think that he's a good player, and you do need a running back. I mean, it is a position.
I think running backs had a little bit of a renaissance, at least at the top of the pay scale in the NFL the last 2 to 3 years. I mean, you look at Derrick Henry's contract with Baltimore has aged well. Saquon's initial push and feels really good. I agree with you on the running back rule, and I think the other thing too for Love that makes him a little different, he's a really good pass catcher as well. And a team that is going to struggle at quarterback, having a back that can generate some big plays for you, and you can split them out and do some things with. The other thing, I mean, Arizona's biggest need is quarterback, and there wasn't a quarterback they felt good about at 3. Obviously, there was a lot of buzz about Arizona possibly trading out. As best we can tell, that trade didn't materialize, and at that point, you're looking at offensive tackle, most likely the guy from Utah or Miami, or Love from Notre Dame, and clearly they felt good about Love. And
honestly, when you start looking at it, we've seen it. Zeke was one, Barkley was one at number 4. In today's time, Bijan Robinson was a first-round draft pick. He was wasted, unfortunately, for the first couple of years of his career. Just no offense, Austin Smith. And
even Todd Gurley for the Rams. I mean, his shelf life wasn't very long, but
unfortunately, you mentioned it, how the running back has kind of become valuable again. But the best way to get one right now is a 4-year deal with a 5th-year option. Pay that now and run till the tires go off. And maybe he's good enough to stay around a little bit longer. And so, but then at the bottom of that draft, Jadarian Price, the other back from Notre Dame, goes to Seattle. He's got probably a better situation because it's a better organization. You're replacing Ken Walker Jr. or Ken Walker III, not to be mistaken from the one that helped runs the Bilbo. But the running back was kind of a value position there. The quarterback surprise was that the Rams took Ty Simpson. But you've been exactly right. Do we live off of Jacoby Brissett if you're the Cardinals, and hopefully you play that your quarterback is in the 2027 draft?
No, I agree with that. And the Rams pick, I thought
Of Ty Simpson?
yes, going just to the getting a quarterback when you have a quarterback, but obviously Stafford is at the end of his career, and so I thought that was one of those picks that could turn out to be in the long run one of those that you look back and think that, well, that because like we've talked about, you get those guys there, and if you don't have to go right in and start, if you can, like work under a guy who's
and
good,
learn,
and then you step into a team that is good and not Mendoza going to a team that last year watching the Raiders, like they had probably the worst offensive line in football, and now he gets to go be the I assume he's going to start right off the bat,
but he may not.
I think
you have Kirk Cousins. You probably start Cousins.
And we didn't talk about that last week, but it's like
it's just when you ease him in.
Yeah, but you're going to have a lot of pressure to put him on the field,
right?
And so that's But
if Kirk Cousins plays well, that pressure goes away a little bit,
and it allows Mendoza to do the same thing. But I was picking a backup in the first round, a guy that is just going to come be a backup is kind of an interesting.
And Sean McVay said, "Hey, we're this is still Matt Stafford's team," which makes sense. But if you're going to have your franchise quarterback for the next round when he's done, go ahead and jump on him, and maybe that must be what they saw. That must be what they did, because Sean McVay's not just going to pick some random slap there. But I don't know.
If you looked at Sean McVay's face and reactions and some of those in that 2 of those pressers last night, I felt like that was more or less Need's pick than McVay's. I don't think McVay seemed terribly excited about your clock's already ticking on Stafford, and now it's really ticking because that 4-year contract's there. And that you would think when you look at Jordan Love in Green Bay with Rodgers and Favre before that, those front offices like to see those guys play a little bit before they have to pull the trigger on a 5th-year option. And if you've got, you look at what Cincinnati did with Dexter Lawrence. If you have a quarterback that you're paying at the top of the market, you're trying to win now. And I know they traded for McDuffie and they used a 1st-round pick to go get him from Kansas City. And you could play devil's advocate and say that's your draft, but that's a roster with a lot of big salaries and veteran players, and that's a bold move.
Instead of adding somebody to help Stafford now.
That's what I'm saying. You're picking a backup in the 1st round when you could get somebody that was plug and play.
That maybe, and again, and we're going to go to commercial when we come back. We're going to talk to the Cowboys draft. Multiple teams last night had multiple 1st-round picks, which makes you better. Even the Jets had 3. But now, could you have waited, and could have Carson Beck been that person, or
no?
What? You're okay. So you're exactly right. So you go that, but then why not take this approach in 2027 to get the guy that replaces Stafford? Hey, again, that's our Lawrence Hall headline report. Lawrence Hall Abilene online.com. That's where you can get your new car, truck, or SUV. Reach out to them. They'll get you taken care of. When we come back, the Cowboys drafted 2. Defensive side of the ball, they didn't do anything stupid. We'll be back right after this. All right. Just remember, we're on Facebook Live here and get crazy to say something weird.
Maybe extra slow.
Right after that, or right before that Rams pick, I was watching the NFL Network coverage. I didn't watch ESPN, but one of those reporters came in and said that when Simpson's family was trying to decide what to do, Les Snead was a long-term family friend, and they called him again. He said he's a for sure first-round pick, and then sure enough, they snagged him.
That's interesting. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. We'll see if the Raiders are actually patient. I feel like their plan with Mendoza going in is.
I didn't know if you wanted egg. You like eggs, I'll put egg on yours.
No, it's good. I like it. Morning.
How are you? Michael Baker.
Kyle Brundle.
That's what you.
Kyle, how are you, sir?
Good, man.
Doing good?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good one.
Good to see you. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I got it. I'm walking.
Would it have been the governor, one district, or somebody different?
No, it would have been.
It'd been them, the governor.
Well, welcome back to the Hodgepodge Sports Life and everything in between. We're rocking and rolling. Hour number one. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hodge, Josh, Ed, Michael Bacon in for Misty on a retreat. Hope everything goes well for her and the folks at Beltway. yesterday again, last night, the NFL draft took place in Pittsburgh. Did you see that I think it's pick 57 or something is going to get like a lifetime of ketchup and a very red jacket, like it's the Masters, but only in red.
What a prize.
Yeah. I mean, so are you can you imagine, like, what if you're allergic to ketchup?
There's a lot of things I'd take a lifetime supply of, and ketchup is really not high on that list.
Well, I guess maybe the check being pick number 57 would be.
Yes, that'd be worth it.
But anyway, so the draft last night, the Cowboys. Now, again, I mentioned yesterday, Noah Project, shout out. Again, great job running the tournament yesterday. A lot of golf. Well, a lot of people playing golf. And a lot of money raised. And needless to say, I missed the first round of the draft. We had morning and afternoon. But great job by the folks at Noah Project, raised a lot of money. And so I didn't catch a lot of it. But I did start noticing, I would get dings on my phone or whatever and notice that yesterday, going into the draft, the Cowboys were 12 and 20. And all of a sudden, they moved to 11. Like, there's Jefferson's moving on up. I wasn't real sure that was it. And they traded with Miami, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we feel like that Zach put it in our text chain. Do we feel like that was worthy of that? I mean, it doesn't matter. We got Caleb Downs, and we feel really good about the pick. But would he have not been there at 12?
It's at least a roll of the dice, maybe a flip of the coin. I mean, just Caleb Downs was a guy last week when we were talking about the draft that I was hoping the Cowboys would be in line for, because I just looking at the pre-draft stuff, I thought maybe he would fall to low enough that the Cowboys could get him. When it got to 10 and he was still there, I was like, all right, the Cowboys are going to end up getting him. But there were probably a lot of people that when it got to 10 and he was still there were thinking that they would trade with Miami to make that pick. So I think it's at least 50-50. If you don't make that trade, you don't get him.
I think it's worth it. I also think you have to look at it if you're going to judge it less than 24 hours after it's over. When you look at what they did with Philadelphia to get 2 4s to take the place of those 2 5s. I mean, I think if you want to look at what could happen, if you're going to look at worst case scenario, Pittsburgh was on the phone with Mekhi Lemon at 21 and thought they had a deal done to draft him. And Philadelphia jumped him while he was on the phone with Pittsburgh. Surprise, you don't get your guy. And I think for the need that Dallas has had at safety since 2003, really, Darren Woodson retired, to get a guy –
should still be in the Hall of Fame for the record, get that done.
No doubt. To get a guy like Downs that's a jack of all trades and can cover up for a lot of things that defense was really bad at for a long time now on the back end, I think it's absolutely worth those 2 5s. I mean, go look at 5th-round picks and what their hit rate is. It's low.
Right, and that's where your general managers scratch off the lottery ticket and get fortunate, because scouts and player development, all that have looked, and Will McClay, everybody always gets mad, or vice versa. Will is the guy that's helping those picks happen. He is the information train that's making those happen. Not Steven, not Jerry. They just get to make the phone call and hit the button or turn in the card. I don't know if they still do that. I doubt it. But Downs is a guy that I think one of the things that helps, he's coming from, played at Alabama, played at Ohio State. You can call them semi-pro NFL teams as far as pressure, going against some of the best athletes in front of you as on the receiver side of it. And so he is the cornerback position, because the ball's thrown so much. It used to be the linebacker and the edge rushers are important, but you better have somebody that can eliminate their best throwing weapon.
I think he can take away the middle of the field too. I mean, you talked about where he played in college. I mean, Kirby Smart never coached him, but if you think about the amount of great DBs and defensive players that Kirby Smart's had, and Saban, and even Ryan Day, they talk about Downs with reverence that is pretty rare. I mean, it's a laundry list of guys that they've coached. And they talk about him differently than anybody else.
Well, he tackles well too.
Yeah, I mean,
so
he does it all.
He will start immediately.
Oh yeah. It's plug and play. Goes out there and if he's half as good as build, he's a viable starting safety. You know, so that's obviously a need the Cowboys had. But we talked about this a little bit with some other teams. The Cowboys, their need was basically anybody on defense.
For sure.
Like, just get a starter at
Get
that
an impact player.
And I wouldn't have been disappointed in several other players if it would have ended up that way. But that was the guy that, like I said, that's the guy I wanted the Cowboys to draft, and they did, so that made me happy. But while we were watching the draft last night, you know, my boys were playing baseball in the backyard, but we stopped to go see who the Cowboys were going to pick. And so Barrett said, I want him to get Caleb Downs, but as long as it's defense, I'm fine. And I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. So, like, that's
and that's the thing. The need was so big on the defensive side for the Cowboys because offensively we still weren't bad last year. But when you have to play like a 6-man and you got to outscore 50-something to win, I mean, the game they beat the Giants, they shouldn't have.
Or tied Green Bay.
And tied Green Bay. I mean, you're 40-40. It's like it just shouldn't happen. And so when you start thinking about how much better, and again, Christian Parker, the new defense coordinator, going from a 4-3 to a 3-4. Ironically, last time they did that, Bill Parcells, same draft, same situation. And so hopefully it works out. They signed the franchise tag. They made that clear that George Pickens is not going to. We're not going to talk about negotiations. And I thought Stephen Jones made a very good point. He said this. He goes,
"That's rare."
Yes, I agree. And it wasn't fake Jerry on the ticket. It was like from the Jones family. But he made the point that we love what George has done. He was very high impact player. We're going to franchise tag him. But I'm not going to get the quote exactly right. But he said, you have to also understand, George hadn't been here that long. And can we get another year out of that productivity, that impact in the locker room? Because going into it, we didn't know what kind of teammate we were getting with Pickens. Were we getting the Steelers Pickens, or were we getting a new atmosphere, fresh start, all the things Pickens? We got the fresh start, impact player Pickens. If he can do, again, 20-something million a year at the franchise tag is still a pretty good deal. And I know you want multi-year and security and all the things that come with that. Do it one more time and then earn that contract. And I, going back, doesn't say a whole lot, thought Stephen Jones did a good job there.
I think the league, too, has kind of spoken about how they value Pickens, is that nobody has necessarily come banging down the door to try to get a deal done. And you haven't even heard any chatter about it from anybody either. And this would absolutely be the time of year you would hear that. So He slid in the first round because of concerns with him coming out of Georgia. There's a reason he was available for a third-round pick. And there are reasons that teams have not tried to trade for him here. And I think his representation is smart enough to realize, say, hey, man, you've got this rep already. Sign this tag and let's go do it again.
Well, and that is one of the things he had a good year with the Cowboys last year, but if you watched all the games, you saw that there were times he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Some poor route running. You know,
we had the one route, it was the deep route, and he kind of alligator armed, didn't really even try.
Against Detroit?
Yes. And that was kind of a Pickens flag, if you will, of the old Pickens.
So he showed flashes of what he could do, but he also shown what he's always known to be. You know,
right.
And so I think that you run a risk if you give a multi-year commitment to a guy like that. What if he just decides he doesn't have to try real hard anymore?
Yeah.
So I do think that was the smart play by the Cowboys. But it does also, you're set at wide receiver, so you don't have to worry about that right now. You can go, work on that defensive side of the ball, maybe pick up some offensive line help later in the draft.
I was shocked on one of the deals that they said need was tight end. It was cornerback, safety, edge rusher, linebacker, and then they had tight end at the end of like the need for the Cowboys. You got Ferguson signed. I guess it doesn't hurt to have a second one, but I don't know how big of a need that is. And they have mentioned that they're not going to be afraid to go out and acquire veteran players, which, again, I think that helps. Quentin Williams was the great trade that happened last year. He should be a huge impact. And I'm hoping, I think Parker's like younger than all of us in this room except Brayson and
He's young.
Stoney. And he's the new defense coordinator for the Cowboys. So I'm hoping that, and again, Howie Roseman, whether you like him or not, we don't like the Eagles because they've done more than we've done as a Cowboys fan in a long time. But what they've done, and he's done a pretty good job. So I'm hoping that culture of winning gets instilled to our guys.
Not just that. I mean, he's been a position coach under Fangio, and Big Fangio's best DCs in the league over the last 20 years or so. So
I agree.
It seems like Parker's got a lot of influence both in what they did in free agency and what they did last night.
That's huge. Hey, when we come back, again, Cowboys take the day off. Nothing happening unless they make some trades to get into the second round. When we come back, we're gonna have a little Jim Ned moment. We got Jim Ned from Hodgepack Sport Clip Youth Player of the Week, and then it's easy to say, and then of course my Big Country Electric My Town segment with Stoney Cooley. So when we come back, we're going to talk some baseball. All right, Brayson, come on up. Here's what we're gonna do, Stoney. We're gonna bring them in. We're gonna do the youth player. We'll go back to commercial. We'll come back and we'll do your segment. You good with that? Y'all got time for that? Okay.
He's very bored.
All right. Hey, Brayson, I'm Hodge. Nice to meet you. Hop in that chair. Okay. Put the camera on you. So
Don't stutter.
oh, you'll be fine. I stutter all the time, and I'm the host.
You listen to him talk?
You're going to do good. You hear him trying to say the sport clip maybe a second ago?
Well, it's important because it's not sports clips; it's sport clips. You play of the week, and so we'll go ahead and give you that free haircut if you need one this week.
Sir, thank you.
There you go. And so we'll go to commercial. Simple questions. What grade you're in? Baseball stuff, they'll be easy. Josh, if you'll bring that mic close to Brayson, we'll go from there.
There's the one thing you gotta talk into it. That close.
Yeah, act like, I'm not saying talk out loud your coach yells at you. Don't do that. But just let me pull this up.
How old were you when you were giving me lessons? You were in high school, you got lessons. Yeah, I think so, because I don't think you were quite on the high school ball. Yeah, I was like 14. Yeah, that's what I thought. He was younger. I don't think you started playing high school yet.
So y'all are just Gym Ned Indians as the intermediate, right? You're not like the Gym Ned Smokies or anything like that, like the other kids.
Y'all still have that facility?
Oh, what is
No, we got that one back, and so we have one at our shop, so we have lessons at the shop.
In fact, why don't you just hop into this chair now? We're gonna make this connect generations to generations. Let's do that. It's perfect. Sure you don't run out of. We need a song for the sport clip. Do you know his daughter Molly? Do you know Molly Greer?
Oh, yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
She's in your class? Oh.
I didn't know that was your daughter.
Here we go. We're coming back. Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, and we're rocking and rolling hour number one. We're gonna kill a couple birds with one stone, or whatever you want to call it. It's trying to get clever, and this didn't happen. Hey, we're glad you're with us, Hodge, and again, Josh is with us, and of course, Michael Bacon is in for Misty. Now it's time for something we started a couple weeks ago, and we appreciate the folks at Sport Clips coming on board with this vision that I had and shared with them. Our Hodgepack Sport Clips Youth Player of the Week, and so we've had some coach pitch, we've had some major pitch, and now we're intermediate. Again, those nominations, you can send them. We'll post them up on Monday, either Hodgepack Sports email at hodgepacksports@gmail.com, or you can make your nomination in the post when we post it. But today, our Sport Clips Youth Player of the Week from GymNet Intermediate, Brayson Wisenhunt. So Brayson, congratulations on being the Youth Player of the Week. And so tell our listeners what grade you're in, which school you go to, and we'll go from there.
I'm in GymNet 7th grade at middle school. And
All right, so you play GymNet Intermediate. So tell our listeners intermediate, a little longer bases.
sir,
All right, so what position? Go ahead.
I play middle infield and catcher and a little bit of center.
All right, there you go. Utility player. Coaches like that. You got to be versatile. Coach Greer over there, he wants people to be versatile, so that's good. So, what do you love about baseball?
It just makes me feel happy. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Do you play other sports at GymNet? I mean, again, for those that are curious, he's in 7th grade. Yes, so that means a lot more sports available than a 4th grader. So, what all do you play at GymNet?
I play basketball and football.
All right, so football, basketball, baseball, no track.
I play a little bit of track. Yes, sir.
There you go. What events were you in track?
I ran the 4x4, 400, 200, and high jump.
All right. So again, what we're saying is the kid does a lot, and it involved a lot of things. So the thing about baseball, how's the season going this year?
It's going good. I think we're 7-2, 6-2.
All right, 7, 6, or 2. Do y'all play other teams? Like, does Merkel have an intermediate? Wiley have an intermediate, or who all do y'all play?
We play Wiley, Legacy, and Northern.
Okay, there you go. And so, how deep are we in the season? So we got eight or 9 games that y'all have played. Is there playoffs? How does it work in intermediate stuff?
I'm not sure. I think there's playoffs.
Okay, there you go. So talk about your team. What's fun about your team? When's the next game? Have you gone yard yet? Have you gone yard?
No, sir.
That's all right. I could never hit a home run, but never mind. That's on me. So talk about your season. How's it going? What's been great about this year?
We're doing pretty good. Some of the kids have gotten a lot better since the start of the year.
So what ages are on the intermediate? 7th grade, 8th grade, 6th grade still in little league. So
it's 6 and 7.
6 and 7. All right, there you go. 6 and 7. Yeah, I know you wanted to do that on the table. That's all. That's the phenomenon of 25-26 was 6-7. Can you imagine what happened? Sorry, this is just happening. Can you imagine what New Year's Eve is going to be like this year when it goes from 6 to 7? Start marking that, Brayson. You got a chance to make a lot of money. So, of the positions that you play, you said you played middle infield. For those that are curious that aren't baseball fans, that's short or second. Play some center field and catcher. What position do you love to play? Your coach is here. You're still going to be versatile. What's your favorite spot?
Shortstop.
Shortstop. All right. Why?
I just get a lot of action. It's fun. Get to make great plays.
Okay, great plays. How many double plays have you turned this year? Very many?
Not many, because I've been playing catcher the whole season.
Oh, there you go. So I was a little hint to play some shortstop this weekend. All right, there you go, Coach. All right, appreciate that. That's what that means. All right, so we're going to go in. We're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I told you, mentioned that. So we're going to do that real quick. Here we go. Now you hear that, and that song means it's time for our Big Country Electric My Town segment. And the reason we're bringing these together, our Big Country Electric My Town segment, we highlight a local player, coach, or program. And today we got a player in studio. We'll talk about the program, keeping the GymNet alive. Stoney Cooley, not related to Coach Cooley. That was a shocker for so many people. But Stoney, you used to give lessons to Brayson.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, what is it like that you're at an age, you're about to graduate? We'll talk about your season and all the things. What's it like seeing a kid that you gave lessons to obviously get the prestigious award of being the Hodgepack Sport Clips Youth Player of the Week, but seeing the success and how much he loves baseball? What does that mean to you as somebody that gave those lessons?
It means the world to me, just growing up and getting these lessons from the older kids and looking up to them.
Who was the one? Did you have somebody that Paul and Timothy is what we'd call it in church? You being Paul, he being Timothy. Who is the person that taught you and gave you lessons that you looked up to?
His name was Mitchell Dixon. He went to ACU. He graduated about 4 years ago.
Okay, and he's playing catcher, which you play catcher as well, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Stoney plays catcher. So what's it like now seeing that Stoney's about to graduate and he's having the season he's having?
He's came a long way. He used to be good, but he's got a lot better.
All right, there you go. Got a lot better because you taught him probably. All right, so again, Brayson, congratulations on being our Youth Player of the Week. We'll keep some more questions coming for you too. So Stoney, senior year baseball. Talk a little bit about how your year has gone. Obviously, you play catcher, Jim Ned Senior. How your season's gone?
My season personally has gone really good. A big upgrade from last year for sure, and then obviously a big upgrade to the record, being undefeated till this past week. But big thing is that it's a lot more fun this year winning.
Yeah, winning is always a lot more fun. It helps the morale for sure. So Stoney mentioned they played Wall this week, had a tough game on Wednesday night, but you head into the playoffs next week again. One of the things that's changed, and Coach Bacon behind me, probably I'd be curious to see what his takes are. Small school, big school. So y'all head off to big school as the #1 seed. You play Ingram Moore next week. What's the mindset? Your hair's not bleach blonde, so you aren't doing that going into the playoffs, which some teams do. What's it like knowing the confidence? Okay, playing teams like Wall has got to make you better getting ready for the playoffs.
Right. I honestly think that was the biggest thing for us, is playing that competition. We did play some good competition early season, and kind of beginning of our district is just real slow. So now that we're back into that, I think it was a great test for us to get ready for playoffs.
And so what's the mindset of the team? How do you put the Wall loss and all that behind you and focus on the task at hand, which is Ingram Moore next week?
See, we don't really worry about that loss too much, because really what matters is playoffs now.
Exactly. So as you get ready for that, what does the postseason look like? What's your plans that you want to do? Again, graduating. Have you enjoyed your senior year? What else do you play? Are you straight baseball?
Yes, I'm straight baseball.
So how's your senior year been? Everything, because we're all of us in here except Brayson are old. No offense, we all are. Have you enjoyed and embraced your senior year? It's been a lot of fun.
I have. Just about in the fall, just football games and going to the lake every weekend. It was fun.
All right. So what's the plan post high school?
I'm committed to play baseball at McMurray.
Okay, Coach Lee going to play there at Walt Driggers Field. A lot of big country kids that Coach Lee's done a good job kind of keeping in town, Caleb Bruning and some of those. And so that'll be a big impact for you. What was the decision? Why McMurray?
I grew up playing for Josh when I was younger, and I feel like it would be the greatest fit for me, and I just love the coaching staff there.
So what has your year been like statistically and all that? Catching, how many people have you thrown out at stealing bases?
I'm not sure how many I've thrown out, but I threw 2 out Wednesday night.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So why do you love catcher?
Honestly.
Do you feel like you're the quarterback of the field?
Yes, sir. And then it just kind of happened when I was about 12. We kind of needed a catcher, and I just got back there, and it's been my position ever since.
I mean, so we're hitting. How do you keep cool with all the gear on?
I've done it so long, I really don't notice it.
Don't even notice it. There you go. Good answer. Do you like all the gear, Brayson?
I mean, I've gotten a little used to it. Still gets hot though.
It does get hot, but some, it's part of it. I think catcher is like the bull rider of the position. I mean, you got all the gear, you're getting pelted at. Now, how do you keep your composure? This is a bit of a tough question. Maybe it's the journalist in me. How do you keep your composure when the umpire behind you is off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I get used to that a lot here in Abilene, so I just kind of just ask them where we're missing and just go on from there and just try to adjust mid-game the best we can.
Do you ever kind of start being jovial with them to kind of, hey, to get them on your side?
No, not too much. I don't want to get too personal with them. I just kind of ask, hey, where's that missing? And then
There you go.
kind of go from there.
Not like the Sandlot catcher. Hey, that's your sister out there. Anything like that's good. It's a good call. They'll be doing that. All right. So tell our listeners, y'all kick off the baseball playoffs next week. What time you play? Again, number one team in the state through most. When did y'all hit the number one ranked team?
I think that was midway through district.
Okay.
We beat like the number 3 team in the state early season pre-district, and then we just kept rising from there as our record got bigger.
That's good. So tell our listeners when, if they want to come watch again, number one team in the state playing 3A, now be Division I in the playoffs. When do y'all play next? If people wanted to come watch y'all,
We play next Thursday at 1 p.m. in Brownwood.
all right, there you go. If you're into the Underwoods thing, like that's the only meal we got back in the day, Josh, was Underwoods and the roll. You can head there. Brayson, when's your next game?
Monday against Wiley.
All right, where at?
Wiley.
There you go, at Wiley. All right, fantastic. So, got anything to say to your teammates?
Just gotta work hard.
All right, work hard. What about your coach?
Just, I don't know.
That's all right. Hey, that's okay. Y'all can discuss that after it's over. What would you say to your senior buddies as you get ready for this run?
We're just gonna do what we've done all year and just keep having fun.
There you go. Have fun. A lot of Gym Ned section there out there. Again, Brayson Wisenhunt, our Hodgepack Sport Clips Youth Player of the Week, and our Big Country Electric My Town segment brought to you by Big Country Electric Cooperative. Stoney Cooley, again, being ready to get behind the plate as they start a playoff run and hopefully win. I will say, and Coach Bacon and I have won some gold balls, and he's won the state championship. But I think the glove that y'all get for the trophy, I think that's one of the coolest. Is it still the glove?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I think the gold gloves are one of the coolest trophies they hand out. And then one day he's graduating, so the catching spot will be open for you. All right, there you go. Again, appreciate it. A lot of Gym Net action in here. We're going to get some pictures. When we come back, I'm going to attempt to open up Misty's bag.
Good job.
Good job, guys. All right, we'll get a photo.
I thought you were gonna tell Coach, man, let me play shortstop.
He had the chance.
That was your 3-1 fastball, man. You let it go. Yeah. You think you tell Coach?
He was there. The catcher, I was like,
If you did here, we'll get we'll get in there with Josh and I. We'll get in there with you and Brayson, and then we'll.
Right here. One, two, three.
All right, we're going to get in. I have a 13, so I don't know.
I love it. It's just
So I'll get to this 1, 6, 3.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. You bet.
Thank you.
Excuse ask for your first period class.
I appreciate
Yes, sir.
it.
That's fine. I appreciate it. Yeah.
hey, he's not trying to play home, so.
Josh, is this you or Bacon?
Mine's right here. What time I play tomorrow?
I don't mind like, I'm home. Probably not.
We've got the,
Brandon, last catcher before you. Yeah, that's crazy. Somewhere on my phone, I've got a picture of.
you play 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, no.
two whole games into the game. It's not really long enough to do anything, but it's too long to just let you know. Kids just crazy.
never had 3 kids that week practice. Not been good.
Just,
Yeah, you get out and you do this, you don't really.
That's what got me.
Nobody.
And look back, I mean, you know.
Ryan, you know how far back that
Those
baseball
families-
goes in the Wizenhut family?
Especially in this time of year to school. Once we went back to spring break,
She played other sports, but I mean,
Well, I'm just a guy that I always tried to play by
Coach Jay.
So they're talking about this week, so just the other day, he started giving me less work.
Good luck.
Hey, have a good day. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Good job, good luck, we'll see you starting.
You're just good at it.
Good luck against Bulldogs on Monday.
Hey, good to see you. Y'all have a good day.
See you, bro. Hey, good to see you. Good luck, bro. We'll see y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all.
See y'all, thank y'all.
How long have you been a grouper? I don't think you started that.
This is year 8.
Okay, you've been
Third is head.
Yeah. Year 15 total.
Yeah, I didn't realize that kid was in 7th grade. I should have known that.
He did good. They both did.
Mm-hmm. I thought it's funny the way he said, "Oh, I didn't know she was your daughter." And I was thinking, how would you know that? I mean,
He's replaying. Have I said anything? Have I said anything?
yeah.
Welcome back to the Hodgepack. We're rocking and rolling hour number 1. Just had a little bit of gym net action going on in here with Brayson Wizenhunt, our Hodgepack Sport Clip Youth Player of the Week, and then Stoney Cooley, our Big Country Electric My Town all in one. Cool story about that. And again, if you missed part of that or want to hear it again, family, we'll have it uploaded on the Hodgepack podcast where you can download, subscribe, rate, and review. Stoney giving lessons to Brayson. Have you ever given lessons to anybody, Josh?
I have. It's been
Yeah.
back in the day with some kids from church and stuff like that. But
I used to give basketball lessons, which I think in Bacon, again, Coach Bacon, Michael Bacon in for Misty, basketball lesson one-on-one is great, but it's almost like at some point you need a few more people.
Yeah, you got to be able to play 5 on. I mean, you got to be able to play in a team setting. And
Yeah.
It's one thing to be really good dribbling around a cone, and that's a popular thing to do right now in basketball, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's value there, but you get better at playing basketball, playing in a team setting, and playing against people that are better than you. It doesn't matter if you're 10 or you're 20.
Well, and I've said all along, when we were growing up in Merkel, open gym was that was your entertainment.
We've done a lot of that this spring, more of it than we've had in recent years. We've had some alumni come back and play,
Yeah.
and
That's how we got better. The older guys,
it's good for you.
yeah, the older guys would come and play, and you're playing against them, and it made you better.
no, it did. And you're right. That's one of those things that I hadn't really thought about. Times change, obviously, and different things available for entertainment and stuff than maybe when we were, in high school and in that age.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing the open gyms, going up there, you have those, especially, kind of the community setting, or you might have some 30 or 40-year-old guys playing with the, 14-year-old kids, and everybody's just out there picking up a team and
Yeah, you shot free throws, you
Yeah.
made it. Next first 5, you made it, move, and you went on.
It is fun.
And as you got older, you would play, and then when your team lost or got kicked out and had to sit down, getting back up to go back out when it was your turn again was a little tough, for sure. But anyway, Misty again is out, but want to definitely continue to do our Mulligan's Misty's Bag, and so we cannot.
Mulligan's Bar and Grill, official Bar and Grill Cooper basketball.
Oh, there you go, right there, boom. Again, Mulligan's Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf, the official place hangout for Cooper basketball as well. A lot of things going on. Of course, they always have their Sunday buy a bucket of beer, get a free small bucket of balls. Gendo on Mondays, karaoke on Tuesday, BOGO wings on Wednesday, and this weekend they've got. If you want to go watch something fun, this is it. I went and watched it. The last time it was there, but it's goat roping, and they'll set up over there by the driving range, and they will set up this pin with a chute, and it's kind of like, I think it's like team roping, the goats, and they've got a pre-party tonight. Open goat roping starts at 6:30. Open to the first 100 teams, $10 a man, 3 head. Progressive after 1. Calcutta for the triple play to follow opening roping.
I gotta ask, what in the world happens at a pre-party for goat roping?
Well, I bet there's our friends at Reed Beverage.
Practice. I mean, I imagine
our friends at Reed Beverage. I'm sure
around,
our friends at Reed Beverage are involved. Abby French is going to be playing, so there's some music. I guess you warm up. Maybe it's like the driving range. I don't know.
Gotta get the shoulder loose. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not a lot of goat roping.
Well, but I'm going to tell you. So then the triple play is on the 25th tomorrow. Goat roping, golf, and cornhole. $1,000 a team, or $250 a man, limited to 18 teams. We'll pay each event and average. Event details: 8:30 a.m. tee time tomorrow morning, 12 p.m. lunch included per individual. Cornhole, and then the team roping. Tomorrow night, 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive. And I'm going to tell you, I went and watched it. It's pretty fun. The last time, and I don't know if it's the same like stock contractor bringing the goat, there was this little goat that was a firecracker. That's putting it nice. And like the little kid that kind of gets mad, maybe Turner, was it Turner or Tanner that was on the Bad News Bears, always threw his glove? Tanner, yeah. So this little goat, after it got done being roped and was finished, and was going back into the chute to go back in for the next turn. And Eric Wilson, buddy of ours, builder in town, and his kids go out to gym there too, and we were watching, and he goes, "Watch that." And sure enough, that little goat would take off and just ram the back end of another goat. Just like he was so ticked off that he was getting roped today that he'd come in and just find one. And that poor goat that was just innocent bystander waiting to be in the chute next, bam, right in the old back end.
I was trying to remember who told me that story, and I was like, did Hodge tell me this before? And then you said Eric Wilson. I was like, that's who told me that. Because I remember being told that story about the goat roping. I didn't attend the goat roping at Mulligan's the last time, but I have seen it before.
I highly recommend. Check it out.
It is entertaining, and it makes me think of
when we combined the Gym Ned segments to one, and I didn't know what was coming next on the rundown. Goat roping is not where I thought we were going. You're full of surprises.
It's a little curveball, and it makes me think of redneck mother is like goat ropers need love and 2-sticker, and it's up.
There you go. Speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and do our check legal ID. We'll be back after legal ID.
Jerry Jeff Walker.
Oh, that was funny.
When for all those people out there in radio land, Michael and I are sitting here, we don't have earphones on. So when there's anything playing, you know, like the sounders and things like that, we hear nothing. And Hodge has earphones on, so he can hear it. But it's this awkward. We're just like sitting here, like, I don't know what's happening. It's quiet.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna have to get the box back and get the headphones back to you.
Yeah,
and
I
Misty
mean,
that they can-
it is kind of it does change things because, like I said, it's just we're sitting here, it's just awkwardly silent, and just waiting to see what Hodge does next.
What are you going to do next, Hodge?
We're gonna open up Misty's Bag, brought to you by Mulligan's, where you can go watch some goat roping tonight and tomorrow, and golf and cornhole. Check out the patio. They had a group, again, Veterans Garage. They are sponsors of KLGD as well. Nice garage doors, great patio opportunity for you. So check out the folks at on Ben Ritchie Drive, Mulligan's. A lot going on.
That almost needed to have the old dump button.
It's close.
Yeah.
Good save.
Yeah, good job. Sorry, I had earphones. All right, so draft night last night. Again, the draft is happening. No Cowboys picks today in round 2. Rounds 2 and 3 are happening today. The Cowboys still have plenty of picks to continue to get better. Fernando Mendoza made the decision, knew he was going to be number 1, did not go to Pittsburgh, stayed back home, celebrating with friends and family. So, first of all, if you missed last week's Misty's Bag of the noodle breakdown, I highly recommend you check that out on the podcast. I listened to it again this past week, still made me laugh because Misty, no doubt, comes up with some odd questions. And last week, do you rank that up there with number 1?
Oh yeah,
I mean, the 1,000 ducks or whatever was weird.
Derailed to that's what makes a good Misty's Bag segment is if it completely comes off the rails. Like,
yeah,
and
so
at least that's when I have fun. I don't know if anyone out there likes listening to it, but that's when I have fun.
Oh, I mean, Bacon last week she said, and she found a noodle chart that different shapes of the noodles. And the question was, what is the best dressed noodle, the most athletic noodle, and what was the other one?
Man.
The funniest noodle?
Yeah.
And so I went funniest with the ravioli. I called it the Chris Farley of noodles. Yeah. And then she wanted to open up a restaurant.
The last time I was a guest host, the question was, if you were to dress as your hometown your senior year of high school or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to answer that. And I for sure don't know how to answer the most athletic noodle.
No, it's a difficult one.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but funny. And again, it gave us kind of like we didn't have headphones on because we didn't know what to say. So Fernando Mendoza, again, decided to stay home. Other folks stayed put, came to Pittsburgh. What would you do if you're there or at home? If you're getting drafted, you knew you were a first-round draft pick, your agent's done well, your coaches have done well, all the people, all the research that you had your folks do tell you were going to be drafted on Thursday. Where would you be and who would you have?
Well, I would.
And throw out, you got to have one celebrity in case that's not all friends and family.
Okay. One celebrity, too. I would definitely lean towards the staying at home, because you can have all your people there, like be around. You see some of those guys, obviously the reactions from their parents and things like that. It just seems like you get to share that with all the people that helped get you to where you're at.
Yeah.
Because they have teammates, they have family.
Would you
coaches.
rent out a local place in your hometown, or you just do it at the house?
I think that would be ideal. Have just a big party. The problem is, obviously, you get on the flip side of that, do you overhype it and then end up not getting picked, or like everyone's like, oh, you're gonna go in the top 5, and then you're sitting there at 23 and still no one's.
Could you imagine being Shadur Sanders?
Yeah, I know.
Last year, Thursday ended up on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the risk.
So who would you have? I mean, obviously family.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
What celebrity do you think would make the impact?
Oh, I don't know, because there's what celebrity would care enough to come to my draft party? That's probably not a long list. I'd try to get some musician.
Well, Ray Riley Hubbard.
Didn't you? Jerry Jeff Walker.
I was.
Yeah, but he's no longer.
He passed away, but I mean, But if I would have been drafted, that'd have been in 2023. So we'll go with Jerry Jeff Walker.
There you go.
I think I would want to have a large gathering in my hometown. I mean, it would be cool to walk across the stage, but I don't like Goodell that much anyway. So
right. I think that's the interesting thing is, there are some people that they graduate either with their master's or whatever, and they did it online, and they have a graduation back at the school, and some elect not to walk and miss out on that whole ceremony thing. On the draft side, that is part of it. You get to hold the jersey up, you get the hug, you get the Goodell and all the things. I'd be curious. I don't know this because I literally came up with Misty's bag question, today. How many number one draft picks have made that decision to stay home and not be in the facility?
I feel like it was unusual for the number one pick not to be there last night. But no, I'm going to see him tonight. Love it leaving after lunch, not skipping out early on work. But George Strait would probably be my
there you go.
Post-draft concert choice.
Oh, yeah. Just kind of that would be a good one. George would be a good one to have in the room. I think you'd have to have some type of celebrity, some type of musician, because you'd want, hey, sing some good tunes. Right now, I would take Zach Top to let him come and hang out and sing. That would be a pretty good one. I think it's a tough one. I think a lot of it might be what city is your draft in.
I could care less. I mean, Pittsburgh's okay. I could care less about going back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If your city was in a place that Miami or Nashville, you'd have a lot easier to get somebody to come out and sing if you're in Nashville.
Yeah, I've got some friends. I don't know if we could turn them loose in Nashville. Need to stay in Abilene, probably.
Yeah, probably the safest place is there. So again, that's Missy's bags question. I would have Zach Tobb, George Strait, and who was your Jerry Jeff Walker? Because Josh got drafted before. All right, when we come back, Texas Rangers playing some baseball, and again, don't forget we got Katie Lou a little bit later.
What time is she supposed to be on the phone?
What?
The golfer?
It's actually going to be a Zoom I did on Wednesday.
Oh, so it's 3 days. Okay. So it's anytime that you want to get played.
Yep. And hopefully it works. I think we can talk about Tony Beasley coming back home. I saw that clip. That was kind of cool. You're going to ramrod a lot of this baseball segment.
I'm ready.
I can help you.
Good. I've got to renew my victory. No doubt, Potosi Live would be Moy chimed in. Potosi Live, do your draft party.
The draft party,
Yeah.
for sure.
The big screen with your facial reaction. You just got drafted by the Cleveland Browns.
Do I have to?
Then you pull the Eli Manning. I'm not going to Cleveland. Lynn Hayes says Snoop Dogg as the.
Oh yeah, that.
Snoop Dogg would be kind of a Snoop Dogg here, Ranger Green hat.
After 150 years of brewing Coors Banquet with Old Rocky Mountain water, we've learned one undeniable truth. Legacies aren't made, they're earned.
I'll be there tonight. Thank you.
Where y'all sitting?
I have no idea what good.
Probably somewhere good.
Coors Banquet, start your legacy. Celebrate responsibly 2025. We're still together in Colorado.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listened to you and have updated our menu, bringing back old favorites like nachos and fajitas, and adding more small plates for the light appetite. So come see us. I want you to say, yum, yum.
We invite you to Mulligan's Sports Bar and Grill. Drink off for only $12 a round. The best full menu in Abilene with an awesome for your next get-together. Mulligan's Sports Bar and Grill, 1166 Vendorty Drive, mulligansabilene.com, or their Facebook page for the latest live entertainment.
Spring into warmer weather with Black Plumbing, Heating, and Air, Abilene's trusted home service provider for over 30 years. Right now, take advantage of our $79 spring AC tune-up special. Let our experts make sure your AC unit is ready to handle the warmer temperatures. Call or schedule your service appointment today at blackplumbing.com.
The pros who know are ready to go. Call on Black Plumbing. Help is on the way. You, a lawyer, or somebody you know is in need of a lawyer, call Tyler Cagle at 325-232-8075. Don't struggle for representation. Tyler specializes in criminal defense, family law, and wills. So if you're in need of someone, call Tyler 325-232-8075, and your scramble will be over. Tyler Cagle Law Firm, 325-232-8075.
Welcome back to the Hodgeback Sports Life and everything in between. We are in hour number 2, brought to you by Coleman County State Bank. ColemanBank.com is where you can find how you can reach out to Tammy and her mortgage team if you're looking for that new house and need to be qualified and all the things. Reach out to Tammy, ColemanBank.com. Want to give a shout out. Somebody asked, and we talked a couple weeks ago about what sport we wish we kind of liked. Hockey's one of them. Dallas Stars win 4-3 in double overtime. They lead the series 2-1. Bacon, do you pay attention?
I do this time of year for sure. I watch nearly every Stars playoff game that I can, and I went to bed middle of the third period the other night. I didn't quite make it to the second OT, but no, I like watching hockey, especially playoff hockey.
Well, and I hear if you ever go to a game, it's a game changer. It's pretty intense.
As far as the difference between live and in person, there's not a bigger improvement seeing it live than hockey.
Yeah, I've never been to a Stars game. The last hockey game was Aviator, so
I've been to one Stars game. I did enjoy it quite a bit, but it's been a long time ago. But I wouldn't mind getting into hockey. But like I said, I don't have the bandwidth for it. There's too much other stuff. I can't devote the amount of time that I do with like watching the Rangers and the Cowboys and trying to keep up with all that. I just couldn't add another.
I don't keep up with the Stars during the regular season like I used to probably. Sarah and I lived in Dallas for a little while. And it was a little bit easier to follow them in town. But no, I've been to lots of Stars games, and you could take somebody that has never seen a hockey game in their life and doesn't know a single thing about it. Matter of fact, I've done this 2 years ago. We took we were in Metroplex for a tournament, and we took our basketball kids to a Stars game, and most of them did not know what a puck was until the puck dropped to start that game, and they had the time of their life. And I would bet if you ask most of them, their favorite thing they've done with us going to that hockey game would be towards the top of the list.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and again, Stars winning. Of course, NBA playoffs are going on. The Zurich Classic, which is a different format on the PGA Tour, last weekend, and it's taken an hour or two, Josh, to talk about golf. So you're kind of shocked about that, I'm sure. But Matt Fitzpatrick, the shot he hit last week to beat Scotty Scheffler in the Heritage was pretty impressive. So anyway, again, Lawrence Hall headline report. We mentioned it in the draft. Fernando Mendoza went number 1. The Cowboys taking Caleb Downs and taking the guy from I've gone blank on his name from UCF, edge rusher. Yeah. We've had a lot of Lawrences on our team, so there you go.
That was my wife's comment when she liked Demarcus Lawrence and sad to see him go.
Yeah.
So when they drafted a defensive end, last name Lawrence, that cheered her up.
And if he'll play as well as Lawrence, we'll take that.
Yeah,
and so, but again, baseball season is happening as well. Of course, if you missed the Jim Ned, our Hodgeback Sport youth player, Brayson Wisenhunt, and then Stoney Cooley as well. A lot of baseball going on. Josh, the Texas Rangers had the Pittsburgh Pirates come to town after being out on the West Coast. and had a familiar face that made the Jumbotron a former, I would say, a favorite coach.
Yeah,
Came back.
Tony Beasley, who he's just an A-class individual. If you've ever paid attention to any of his social media and stuff like that,
I'm going to share my ignorance on this. Has he ever been a head coach? Any desire to be one? Had a chance to be one? Do we know?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Not in the big leagues. He's
no.
never been a big league manager.
But yeah, long time coach. Was third base coach for the Rangers through many years. He was a little too conservative for me on his third base coaching sometimes. So that we had differences of opinion on when you should send people. But A-class individual, and I'm glad that when he came back, that he got recognition there from the hometown fans. So that was good. But the Rangers. Leading the division right now, but they're not running away with it. But the thing is with where this team is right now, I'm pretty stoked. I think that early in the year they've played a whole lot more road games than they played home games, and that obviously balances out through the season. But they managed a pretty tough road trip and came back 500.
Yeah.
And that's really the thing. If you can be 500 on the road and then go protect your house, you're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, and they've done that in the last week and a half, like you said. They got 2 out of 3 from Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is a good team. I think that the A's I started to say Oakland coming in. I think Oakland's a sneaky team in their division, and the AL West, I think if you asked fans of every team, I mean, Houston certainly hasn't played their best baseball. Seattle dealing with a little bit of a postseason hangover from last year maybe, and they've got some guys in the middle of their lineup that just aren't hitting yet. I mean, Rodriguez, Naylor, Raleigh, and you've got to think Seattle is going to get going. But no, I've been pleased with what the Rangers have done so far, especially seeing Josh Young have some signs of life after a multi-year struggle. And Evan Carter, I mean, his average isn't great, but he's shown some flashes of being the guy that came up and batted third on a World Series championship team.
Oh, certainly. And you mentioned Josh Young, but he had a terrible year last year.
Yeah.
Got sent down to the minors for a stretch. And the humility that would instill in someone to be an all-star starter on a World Series championship and then struggle so bad after that you get sent back to the minors. And then this year didn't start very good. I think he was 0 for his first 15 or something along those lines.
Well, I mean, wasn't he and Jock like the office pool of who's going to get a hit?
Yes, they both. But the thing is, they both turned around. Like now Josh Young has turned around to the point where he's leading the team in batting average, batting over 300, hitting a lot of doubles. The home runs haven't really come in any kind of spurts, but he's hitting the ball hard. So we just need that to keep rolling. And the aforementioned Jock Peterson, the first 15 games of the season, he was batting like under 100. The second little stretch since then, he's batting 330. So
he got going on that West Coast road trip.
Yes, and so that's one of those things. If you get those two guys kind of in that middle of the order, moving the line and keep it going. And Corey Seager obviously has not hit like we think Corey Seager hits, but last night he got 2 hits, including a massive home run. It looks like he's coming back into his own. And Corey Seager he's on a borderline Hall of Fame pace, so I'm not worried that he's going to not have a great season. So, and we talk about it a lot with the DeGrom and Evaldi. You've got that stabilizing force and that you're going to have some ups and downs with Leiter and Gore, and then you never know what you're going to get out of Rocker. But with those two guys, you're not going to have long losing streaks.
No, and I think even with, especially with Gore, and I think to some extent with Leiter, and if you're going to put Rocker drives me crazy too, but if you're going to put him up against the 5th or 6th starter for a lot of teams, I think you'd take him. And my biggest worry about this team for the next, what are they, 13 and 12? So for the next 130 games is, one, the health of Evaldi and DeGrom. Both of those guys are veteran pitchers, have dealt with a lot of injuries. And then who can they find in the back end of that bullpen and get people out?
You must have read my text from way over there. Corey Jenkins said Rangers' biggest need is back end bullpen. Shocker.
Yeah, well, I mean, Junis has been good, and after that, it's been a grab bag.
It has, and Latz has had a good season. He had one bad outing, and it cost the Rangers the game. So maybe you develop somebody to be more in that high leverage win. The aforementioned Latz. That Collier guy came up and
he's pitched well.
He showed you last night why he was still in the minor leagues. Because he throws 100 miles an hour. He makes people look silly, and then he walked 3 people in a row. But that's one of those things that have some growing pains there. But I do think that if the Rangers are in this division / wild card contention as we get halfway through the season, I would fully expect a trade for a solid closer.
Yeah, they did it last year. They went out and got a couple of relievers that pitched fairly well, Colin being the main one. But I like where they're at. I feel okay about it. I think it's a little bit like a golf tournament. You can't win it the first day, but there have been a lot of West Coast road trips as a Ranger fan for a long time where they went to the West Coast early in the season, and they may as well have just stayed out there because they never came back.
So as we look, we got a couple minutes left. But are you shocked with Bobby Witt Jr.? What's been your surprise teams? Like, I'm looking here, and again, first of all, it's comical that the Athletics don't have a city in front of their name.
They're just the Athletics.
They're just the Athletics. But Kansas City 8-17. White Sox actually not at the bottom of the division, which I'm sure is the first time in probably ever, it seems like. Marlins started off hot, but the Braves now leading 18-8 there. Reds wondering if they will Seattle Mariners a little bit. Reds are hot right now, and the Padres and Dodgers tied 17-8 out there in the NL West. Of course, Yankees are playing well.
The Braves they're the only team that really seems to just be running away with the division. And it's so early in the season. You could go a 5-game winning streak or a 5-game losing streak.
One good week.
They could all fall apart. But I'm most surprised with 2 things, and it's how bad the NL East preseason favorites are doing, and how good the NL Central is.
Well, the Mets were on 11-game or 12-game.
They lost 12 in a row. The Phillies haven't played well, and those were 2 teams that people talked about being postseason teams.
Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh comes to town when they were 13-10 when they came to Arlington, and they're in 4th place in their division.
If I was going to pick a surprise team, and good or bad, I would say Philadelphia is struggling to the extent that they had. Anybody, respectfully, being shocked that the Mets are bad.
They're the spinningest money people of all time that could be terrible.
The Mets being bad is the least surprising thing of all time. Right. But I would say Philadelphia, and then Seattle struggling. That's on all fronts, a pretty loaded roster, and they spent some money and made a trade or 2 in the offseason to continue to be in the hunt. And seeing those guys struggle the way they have, especially the middle of their order for how good it was last year, has been a surprise so far. But again, they play 162 of these. There's time to turn it around.
Yeah, one of the things though with Seattle is there was all the preseason talk that they were the World Series favorite from the American League and stuff, and I never really saw that because I think it was putting too much I guess requirement on Julio Rodriguez becoming the superstar that every year we're told he's going to be, but he never makes it. It's just he hasn't put it together for a whole season yet in his career. And the other is Cal Raleigh last year had the I guess, highest output offensive season for a catcher in the history of baseball. And he's never even done half of that before. So to expect him to do that again, I think it's just undue expectation and maybe too much pressure. And his reaction to it was probably better what my reaction to it would be. But there's like when you go out and hit 60 homers and you come out and you don't hit your first homer for like 2 weeks. Yeah. I think that just builds and builds and builds, and because the uncertainty,
it's like a golfer.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling it,
where if he hits 30, 35 home runs like he's traditionally done in his career, if he does that this year, everyone's going to be like, well, that was disappointing.
I think seeing what Seattle's going through and Philadelphia, Philadelphia's window's been open a long time. It's hard to get good. It's even harder to stay good.
Right.
And
very few do it.
Yeah. So
very few do it.
That's where I think Seattle's rotation can carry him through, but they're going to have to hit a little bit.
Right. Yeah, and so Rangers, again, had the Pirates in town, and now I just went blank. What's the next set, Josh? Who we got next?
The Yankees.
There you go. Yankees, great opportunity to find out how good you are playing against the Yankees who are playing well.
Well, it's the Athletics first. Sorry. It's the Athletics over the weekend and the Yankees Monday through Wednesday of next week. So
there you go. The no-name Athletics coming to town. When we come back, speaking of coming to town, the Anaco Women's All-Pro Tour coming that first week of May 4th through the 7th. When we come back, Katie Lou, already a winner on tour, will join us right after this.
I got to go.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Yeah, it should time. I've tried to time that perfect.
That's good.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Thank you. Maybe see you tonight.
Yeah, text me.
Yep.
We are in section 134 or 135.
That's awesome, though. I get to go to that.
I've never seen him. I can't wait. Ticket prices have dropped a lot because no one can get a hotel.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I was talking something like that, right? I know enough people up there.
That was fun. Look, I've got a friend out there.
God, be kidding me.
Anyway, see y'all.
Yeah,
See ya.
have fun.
Now's not the time for internet not to work.
Stop by our offices in North Snyder and in Stanford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop. Hello, Abilene in the Big Country. My name is John Key. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call, 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did. Have you enjoyed the Toasty Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around, with amazing food, great drinks, live music, TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. Toasty Live team will make sure that you have an experience to share and tell your friends about. Check out ToastyLive.com or go like my Toasty Live live music and ticket events. Head out to Toasty at 897 FM 1750 for the Toasty Live experience. When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall in Abilene. For over 36 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best of Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. With great service, parts, and collision centers too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, or just good old-fashioned service, come see us. Our business online is LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Why go anywhere else?
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friends get your favorite song on the playlist, and the friendship, or just chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway, and you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open with music to your ears already. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Course Brand Company, Golden, Colorado.
At the Burke Law Firm, we represent injured people and their families. We want you to know that we've actually tried personal injury cases to jury verdicts. When you find yourself in need of a personal injury attorney, make sure to ask your self-described personal injury trial lawyer if they've ever even tried a personal injury case to a favorable jury verdict. Then, if you'd like a sincere opinion on your personal injury case, call me, Trace Burke, at 677-4777.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listen to you and have updated our menu, bringing back all the favorites like nachos and fajitas, and adding more small plates for the light appetites. So come see us. I want to hear you say, yum, yum.
We invite you to Mulligan Sports Bar and Grill. Great golf for only $12 a round.
Are you playing in Young Life next week?
Yes.
With an awesome atmosphere.
You?
You can enjoy buckets of
No,
beer and buckets of
we didn't do a
bowls to
team.
improve your swing. Happy hours Monday through Friday. Food, drink, golf,
Have a
or
spot.
sand.
Huh?
If I have a spot, we can play.
Available for your next
I
get
should be
together.
able to.
Mulligan Sports Bar
Just let me
I'm
know.
not sure. I'll find out.
66 Vineyard Drive, mulligansabilene.com, or their Facebook page for the latest live entertainment.
Welcome back to the Hodgeback Sports Life and everything in between. We appreciate Coach Bacon, Michael Bacon, joining us, filling in for Misty today, and of course Hodge and Josh here. We've talked about this. We've had the show out there before, but the Annika Women's All Pro Tour coming back to Abilene, going to be at the Abilene Country Club North Course. A lot of things going on. They'll have a junior clinic and all those things. We'll get those details. But May 4th through the 7th, 4th being the Pro-Am. And then, of course, the tournament 5th, 6th, and 7th. Be a great opportunity on May 6th. They're going to have a little bit of a waste management type atmosphere of crowd participation as the girls come and play on hole 9 there at the Country Club. But a great opportunity there to watch some great golf if you can get away and watch them. But again, Pierce Furniture tournament coming up on May 5th. I had an opportunity to visit with one of the stars on that tour, and again, winner already, Katie Lou, and had a chance to interview her. And so here is the interview with Katie. Hope you enjoy Katie Lou. Taking time, getting ready for a tournament. All right, sounds like it's working. Huh? Sounds like it's working.
This is our third straight week on the road. So the last 2 weeks we were in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and then Alexandria, Louisiana. So yeah, I'm excited for a fun week here.
Right, so Katie's joining us. She's on her way west because eventually she'll be at Abilene to be a part of the Pierce Furniture tournament, which will be happening May 4th to the 7th. So Katie, tell our listeners a little bit about golf and why you got into it, and kind of because I watched a video as I was preparing your video with Annika, kind of how you got started.
Yeah, so I started golfing when I was 10 years old. Parents both didn't golf. They kind of just wanted to get my younger brother and I out of the house. Decided to spend the summer random summer camp just 20 minutes away from the house. And my first thought was no. I'm not going to go to golf camp. Like, golf is so boring. It's slow. It's for old people. That was kind of like the image of golf in my head. And then we spent a week at the camp, and I absolutely loved it. I just loved whacking the balls on the range, whipping out driver. And I don't know, I guess that was kind of a natural from the start because I like just, it wasn't hard for me to make contact with the golf ball. And then, I was 10 years old and then slowly started playing tournaments a couple months later, and then got recruited to play for Michigan State University, and I played in college golf there for 4 years, and I graduated this past May, and now I am a part of the Annika Development Program, and so me and some other professional golfers that just graduated, the Annika Foundation and Will Arnold supported us through this transition. So.
So I've got to ask, as a sports guy, did you get to meet Coach Izzo in your time at Michigan State?
Yes. He's the best. He's awesome.
Yeah, I hope he continues to coach. I'm a big fan. I coached and taught before I got 10 years, and just always thought Izzo was awesome. So that's pretty cool. That. So which one do you dislike? Still dislike Michigan more? Did it hurt seeing them win a national title in basketball?
Yes, it did.
Hesitation tells me yes.
Can't lie. Yeah, I was rooting for UConn.
Yeah, I bet you were. I bet you were. Hey, so talk about this, the impact you and a couple others on tour on ambassadors. What has the impact of Annika putting her name on the WAPT meant for the tournament and doors that it's opened up for the ladies on this tour?
Oh my gosh, just like having Annika's name a part of the program and a part of the tour means a lot, because I mean, it's Annika Sorenstam, like Hall of Fame golfer, just, I mean, holds so many records under her name. And even outside of golf, it's done so much for the future of women's golf. And I think the fact that she's able to sponsor us like this shows that she believes in us, and it also shows other, companies or potential sponsors or just people that enjoy watching women's golf that they should also be paying attention to us. So just her belief in us means a lot.
Well, and I think it shows that, because I think golf, I always compare y'all to musicians. There's a lot of people out there with a guitar trying to be the next Zach Pop or George Strait, or you fill in the artist. Well, for y'all are trying to find your way to the LPGA. And the difference is somebody has to just hear a guy or a girl sing and trust them. Y'all are having to earn it every day, winning tournaments, earning points, and climbing that mountain. What is that grind like? You just started, graduated in 25. Now you're out on tour. What is that grind like? And how do you stay that course for that ultimate goal of playing the Chevron down the road?
Yeah, like you said, it's definitely a grind and it's a journey. Just like at this stage, everyone is just so good. Like we can see it on the LPGA and even the PGA Tour. Like you just never know who's gonna win. Like week in and week out, it can always be someone different. And I think especially like where I am right now on this journey, like everything's still like pretty new. This is like my first like time being, on the road for 3 weeks.
thing has been replaced. On the best of Chevrolet, new GMC and Cadillac. With great service, parts, and collision centers too. So the next time you need a
Youngest brother new City Connects tonight for the first time.
Hope they look better than the ones I've had. I didn't like the last year's.
No, I didn't either.
I thought they looked like. I thought they looked like.
TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. Potosi Live team will make sure you have
Rice.
experiences you're going to tell your friends about. Check out PotosiLive.com or go like them at Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music.
Not a
and
fan.
events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
What time do y'all play tomorrow?
8 and 11:45.
A little bit of a layover.
Yeah. 2 games in between. I don't like that on the schedule, but whatever. What if
673-67.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See him in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a life. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 326 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Spring into warmer weather with Black Plumbing, Heating, and Air, Applebee's trusted home service provider for over 30 years. Right now, take advantage of our $79 spring AC tune-up special. Let our experts make sure your AC unit is ready to handle the warmer temperatures. Call or schedule your service appointment today at blackplumbing.com.
The pros who know are ready to go. Call on Black Plumbing. Help is on the way. There is no way I can qualify for a home loan.
You don't know that. Don't play.
You don't know that.
Call Coleman County State Bank today and speak to a mortgage expert. They are local and make decisions fast, so you don't miss out on your dream home. CCSB's experienced team will walk you through every step of the mortgage process. Visit ColemanBank.com to make your next move.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. If you, a local, or somebody you know is in need of a lawyer, call Tyler Cagle at 325-232-8075. Don't scramble for representation. Tyler specializes in criminal defense, family law, and wills. So if you're in need of someone, call Tyler at 325-232-8075, and your scramble will be over. Tyler Cagle Law Firm, 325-232-8075. We invite you to Mulligan Sports Bar and Grill. Drink off for only $12 a round. The best full menu in Abilene with an awesome atmosphere. You can enjoy buckets of beer and buckets of balls as you improve your swing. Happy hours Monday through Friday. Food, drinks, golf, sports, and fun. Including a porch available for your next get-together. Mulligan Sports Bar and Grill, 1166 Vineyard Drive. MulligansAbilene.com or their Facebook page for the latest live entertainment.
Welcome back to the Hodgepodge Sports Life and everything in between. We get ready to send you into the weekend. A couple of notes that have come out. Of course, Tiger Woods had his incident a couple weeks ago, but we have Tiger Woods looked like might have been up to be the Ryder Cup captain in 2027. They have made the decision to go to Jim Furyk on that. Probably a good decision. Give Tiger some time to recover and get rehabilitated and all the things to get back on the right track for him. Josh, last week, WrestleMania, we talked a little bit about it. Did you watch any of it?
No, I did not. I didn't think about it. Just, I wouldn't mind. I just didn't come to mind.
So I did watch a little bit of it. I did notice that Brock Lesnar retired. So your thoughts on this? And again, I don't watch a ton of it anymore as I did when I was a kid. But I do like the Unreal stuff and the hidden. They show you what's happened, all that. But so apparently, you lose your final match as a passing of the torch.
Okay.
And so Brock did that, lost to Obafemi, and he took his boots off and his big gloves and left them in the ring and left, and that was the sign of retiring. I guess that's a way to do it. It seemed kind of awkward.
It does seem kind of awkward.
Like, why would you just, I'm out, see ya, no press conference?
Yeah, just done. Just walk away, right off into the sunset.
Yeah, just get pinned. And so that took place last week. But anyway, of course, Pat McAfee had got destroyed by Jelly Roll and was wearing a neck brace on his show, for the white neck brace, for a few days on the Pat McAfee show, which I think is another comical thing.
That is pretty comical.
Who else do you think would be a great personality that could get in the ring? Jelly Roll's done it. Pat McAfee.
I mean, there'd be a lot that would be, could be funny. Depends on which way you want to go. Get any like comedy actor.
Yeah, I don't see like Stephen A. Smith. Some would like to powerbomb him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I couldn't. It's got to be somebody that's like funny, I think.
Oh, for sure. Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, right.
He and Hacksaw Jim Duggan tag team too. That would be the ultimate America. Yep. WWE SummerSlam. America's turned 250 years old this year.
Right.
What a great, and if Sergeant Slaughter's still alive, there you go.
Yeah.
The American
Jim Duggan.
Yes, with Larry the Cable Guy, that would be fantastic. So Josh, the Cowboys again, they had the draft. We'll recap a little bit. Round 1 yesterday, they did pick up again Caleb Downs, which immediately we expect to play. Then they traded up traded up to get Downs, traded down to get somebody else. Malachi Lawrence. No picks today, but it'll be interesting. Who do you think? Is it Carson Beck? Is it, I don't know who's left out there that's like, hey, that's the curiosity of who's going to be the name in round 2 that sparks interest today.
Yeah, there's still, I think good players. McCoy from Tennessee, the defensive back, he was one that some people thought might go in the first round. He's still out there. As far as quarterbacks go, it's like, I'm not a Carson Beck fan.
Well, Garrett, right now on ESPN.com, Garrett Nussmeier, the quarterback out of LSU, is the best available in the quarterback position, followed by Carson Beck. Of course, all the talk is that next year is the year that if you're going to be picking a quarterback, it's going to be the 2027 draft, not this year. I mean, Baron Morton's the number 7th ranked quarterback left on the board here for ESPN, along with Caleb Klubnik. Sawyer Robertson is at 8. And so you start looking at these, there's just not a lot that eye catchers.
No, like those guys, Sawyer Robertson had moments at Baylor, and obviously Baron Morton, when he stayed on the field at Tech was very good. But I don't see those guys and just think like, man, I'm going to build a franchise around those dudes.
Right.
And not to say that players like that don't get in the NFL and have a good, successful career.
I mean, we saw that with Dak.
Yes, I'm not shutting the door on it, and I hope they get an opportunity and get to, go see what they can do. And honestly, a lot of times, like you mentioned Dak, but those players that Brock Purdy is the poster child of it, or Tom Brady, those guys that get on a team, get in a good situation, learn, and then can, maybe just like turn that into a career. I mean, and even if you have a 5 or 6 year run in the NFL as just a backup quarterback, that's a pretty impressive feat.
Right. And chances are the injury bug and the consequences after are a lot smaller because the lack of playing time and exposure that you get, but you still get paid and you can do it for a long time.
Right.
I think the name that in this area that people are going to be curious about, and I don't know if he makes it to the third round where the Cowboys have a chance, but the impact that he had, we saw number two, David Bailey go to the Jets. I think a lot of people in this area are going to be curious where Jacob Rodriguez goes.
Yes.
The linebacker from Texas Tech, Jason Whitman Award winner. I think there'll be a lot of people wondering where he lands as far as this area of a player to watch. He's on the NFL board for ESPN.com. He's the 18th best overall position-wise, and then at the linebacker position, he's number 3 behind Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas, C.J. Allen out of Georgia, and then Jacob Rodriguez at number 3. So I think he's the name that people will be curious to see where he lands.
Yes, I mean, I definitely am curious, and you never know, but I doubt he would still be available when the Cowboys came back around.
No, I think they'd have to trade for some reason to get into round 2, and I don't see that happening because you've got, again, save those picks, load up on round 3, round 4, and just real quick.
It's like you got your 2 first rounders in there, which you obviously have a lot invested that they make, but then when you get past the second round and maybe even just the first part of the second round, you're really just kind of everybody's somewhat of a gamble. There's some maybe small issue, small athletic shortcoming, size shortcoming, something like that has pushed you back that far, because there's obviously a lot of talent. But I think the approach that the Cowboys have now with their opportunity is more of a let's get some quantity, let's fill the room, because the Cowboys have a lot of places for people to play.
Right.
Like whether that's on the field as a starter or as a competent second team guy, there's a lot of opportunity. So,
and again, that next pick will be third round, 28th pick, 92 overall tonight. And again, the Rangers tonight welcome the Athletics to town, a team with no first name, and Uvalde on the hill tonight. Hey, we appreciate you joining us again. We appreciate Brayson Wisenhunt and Stoney Cooley. Hope their baseball career continues to roll, especially Stoney's, as the senior baseball playoffs start, high school baseball, UI baseball playoffs start next week. Softball's starting tonight. Again, thank y'all. Don't forget, download, subscribe, rate, review. Misty will be back. We'll all be ready to roll. The Cowboys will be finished, and we'll have draft picks to talk about. We'll be back next week. More Hodgeback, sports life, and everything in between.
All right. Good show. Good show.
That's good.
I will